Welcome to another AUG blog audio post located at augforums.com. That's augforums.com. You can find this specific audio post at augforums.com/audio post 9. That's audio post and the number 9. This is your host, Tim Rodman, coming to you live on Wednesday, January 29th, 2020, from Las Vegas, Nevada, where we're kind of at the end of the summit, although there's still training going on, Acumatica Summit 2020. And in this audio post, I've got Joni Girardi with me from DataSelf. Joni, I'll let you introduce yourself and what you do.
Tim, thank you for having me. I'm very excited. I've been working with analytics for 20 years and with the Acumatica community for the last 3, so I'm super excited to be part of this blog post.
It's been 3 years already, huh? So let's think about that. This is 2020. Last year was Houston. Year before was Nashville. Year before was San Diego.
Yeah.
And that's where I remember you first showing up.
Oh, really?
And I remember that because I think you signed up probably a little bit late for that one. And they gave you a booth like that was on its own over by the bathroom.
Yes.
But I think that was actually pretty nice because you got a lot of traffic
I was just not shaking hands, but yes.
So I remember that. So that's actually pretty veteran status. I mean, if you look at the ISV marketplace at this summit versus what it was like at San Diego, you're one of the ISV veterans in the Acumatica channel. So DataSelf does advanced analytics, and we've talked even before that, just over the years, about BI, and give us an update on what products you're offering for Acumatica first. How about that?
Sure. So first of all, we've been doing this for 15 years, and when we started with the Acumatica, so the first conference was 3 years ago, and we actually decided to do business in the Acumatica world early 2018, so it's been 2 years actually working with Acumatica. And when we started with Acumatica, we started with what we call today the Enterprise Analytics, which is a full-blown BI solution, very sophisticated, very powerful, but expensive and kind of, slowly customizable. And over the years, as we got engaged with Acumatica and learning all the benefits of cloud to cloud, we are super excited that we just launched the new product, which we call Advanced Analytics, which is a completely cloud to cloud self-service framework that you can deploy lots of reports and dashboards in 15 minutes, self-service. So
That's 15 minutes.
And we're talking about 15 minutes, yes.
Okay.
So
this is the old, for those who already know DataSelf, this is the old DataSelf Lite product you're now calling Advanced Analytics, because there's really nothing light about it, right? Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right. The reseller told us, Johnny, calling light, you are undervaluing your product. There's nothing light with it.
And I would agree with that. Okay. So 15 minutes,
Yep.
You can be up and running on that.
And some of the interesting things, just from a historical standpoint, about 10 years ago, we were talking with my team, and I mentioned that we would really deliver the vision of DataSelf, which is make it easy for mid-market companies and resellers to be successful with the enterprise BI, would be when we make it self-service. So it's a dream coming true, 10 years in the works. In 15 minutes, you can get enterprise BI at your fingertips.
Okay, so I hear a lot of people say self-service, but let's put that to the test. Walk me through what I do in minute 1 of that process.
You go to the dataself.com website.
Dataself.com, okay.
Yeah, on the home page, you just scroll a little bit down and you'll see a button saying Deploy Advanced Analytics for Acumatica.
Okay.
You click it, you go to a form. First page is just your information. Second page is Acumatica information such as URL. You gotta give us a user for Acumatica that can connect to OData. You have to upload about 5-6 GIs. You click next, you put credit card, you click finish, and that's what we say in 15 minutes you got the system to be deployed.
But so it truly is self-service in that I download the generic inquiries myself,
Yes.
put them in my environment. So there's no time lag. I could do this at 2 a.m. in the morning on Saturday when hopefully all the DataSelf employees are sleeping. There's nothing behind the scenes that DataSelf has to do to make this happen.
Well, right now we still have a person that does a little bit of the process.
Okay.
We are still automating all of this self-service procedure, but in about a month or so, we're going to be automating the last steps of the back-end system, where we'll be completely automated, even our own back-end system. But from an end-user standpoint, if I didn't tell you right now, you wouldn't even notice that it's completely self-service, because from the end-user standpoint, you don't even know there's still a manual process in the back-end.
And that manual process right now, is that needed before I can actually see those dashboards?
Yes.
Okay.
In
So maybe I shouldn't do it at 2 a.m. on a Saturday night. I should do it during working hours.
Well, right now, the promise that we tell, actually, no, the promise that we tell is by the next business day is up and running.
Okay.
And it's because, you know,
Which
someone...
is still pretty good. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I like that. And that's all fairly new for you all. So to get it down to 15 minutes so quickly is pretty good. So
Well,
I have some good confidence you'll get it completely automated. I like that.
no, I'm completely comfortable. And the funny thing was, about May last year, our projection would take us 2 years to actually get this part done. And then we were discussing about our framework, and we realized that just tweaking some of the components, we could actually get the self-service framework ready in 3 months, not in 2 years.
Awesome.
So we've been having good surprise that our framework has been actually designed in a way that with few tweaks, we are pretty much, a few weeks away from being completely automated behind the scenes.
So I want to be a little careful. We're both super data geeks. So I'll try to, I won't drill down any further than that. But that's part of an AUG blog audio post here. We're here to lift the covers on things. So I think that's good. If I step back a little bit then, so tell me, what do I get? Maybe actually let's start with the marketplace. Tell us a little bit about Fulfilled by Acumatica and what that means.
Sure. So right now, when you order Advanced Analytics by DataSelf, which is the new name, it was formerly DataSelf Lite. Actually, if you go to Acumatica price list, it's still labeled as DataSelf Lite,
Okay.
but we're already working to change. But what you get when you place the order with Acumatica or directly with DataSelf, you can do both. Both ways will get to the same result. You get what we call the core financial package, which pretty much includes AP and AR aging, cash flow projection, financials, which is primarily GL transactions and P&L. There's no balance sheet yet, and then sales analysis. So this is a package that includes a lot of reports and dashboards with KPIs available on day one, pretty much on the next day.
So that's core. If I say Advanced Analytics by DataSelf, that's the first thing that means. Okay.
That's the core. And just something very interesting is part of the whole DataSelf package, core and additional templates, also includes natural language query, which is, if you speak English, you can build your own reports from scratch just by typing the question. Just like in Google, if you say, who were my top 10 customers by sales? You just type it in, you get the answer. What was my net profit last quarter? You get the answer. So if you know English, you can build your own reports. It's that easy, and it's part of the DataSelf package.
That's cool. You have any recorded videos I could link to on this?
Shortly.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll drop that in when we get it. Okay.
When I did my presentation on Monday, and after the PowerPoint, I jumped right into natural language. A lot of people, ooh, wow, yeah, my CEO would love this.
Cool stuff. I like that.
It's very exciting.
So that's core. Then I think you also have even more than that, correct?
Right. So on top of the core package, we're having the additions. Right now, we have released the distribution edition, which includes inventory analysis, purchasing, and sales order on top of the core package. We also have construction edition, which pretty much includes project accounting right now. And we are in the queue, we're going to also have manufacturing, field service, and CRM that are going to come up in the next few months.
Interesting. So I like the names, by the way. Lines up very nicely with Acumatica's. They don't have a financial edition. That's just Acumatica. But then they have Acumatica Distribution Edition. So this would be Advanced Analytics Distribution Edition.
Right.
And then same on with construction Construction. So that construction must be new for you, right? That's new to me.
Yes.
How did that happen?
So it was interesting.
Or what made you do that?
Right. It's a good question. So we've seen that Acumatica is heavily investing in the construction vertical, and we even thought, why are they doing so? And one person on our team, she came from the construction vertical, and then we got a lot of insights of how critical construction vertical is for Acumatica. There's a lot of legacy systems that are kind of almost dying as a product, and people need to move to something more modern. And Acumatica definitely saw this coming, and they make a great job. And in the reporting side of it, it's good out of the box. Acumatica has a lot of functionality, but is not as good as with the data cell framework. So we decided to launch by Summit our construction edition. And in the last 6 months, as we start to spin our wheels towards the construction edition, we were lucky to find a successful construction client in Acumatica that was willing to be our first construction client and help us figure out the templates.
So was this someone who was already using Acumatica in live production?
Yes,
okay.
For quite a while.
Awesome.
And they are a great client of Acumatica that I don't have the rights to tell who they are.
Sure.
But they have been super pivotal in telling us the reporting pains that they're having. And just some examples that we have been helping them. In my session, one of their employees was actually talking about this example, that every week the CFO was spending a few hours every week downloading data into Excel, combining receivables with their pro formas and calculating things, and eventually giving to the CEO so they could do kind of cash flow planning for the next few weeks. And that problem for BI people like us, experts, we can quickly and very effectively solve. So once we saw the problem, in a couple of weeks we came back with this integration, and now every day the CEO has in his dashboard when he logs to Acumatica a dashboard that shows the AR aging and pro forma combined like they are just the same data source, and he has a good visibility of cash flow without bugging the CFO, without spending hours. Every day is right there, so they're very happy. And it's just one small piece of the whole construction edition that we are building for them.
So that story of spending a few hours a week manually creating something Excel, that sounds like a very familiar story, huh? That's pretty cool. And I agree that's something BI people are very good at replacing. But you got to have the right tool, right?
Yes.
Like a data cell tool.
Tools, experience, insights. It's another little story that was fascinating to me as a data geek, and see smiles that inspire us to keep on working this way that we're doing. So on Monday, when I met with the CEO, the CFO, and the IT director of this company, and we just added a P&L reporting in their dashboard last Friday. So it was just last Friday we added this component, and I asked the CFO if she has looked at it, and she said, well, I just looked at it, but I haven't had the chance to really look closely. So she opened the computer, she logged in, and then we have the four of us looking at the P&L, and I asked the CEO, what challenges are you having out of your P&L today that Acumatica is not really delivering easily? And he said, well, one of the main challenges is usually I look at the last 6 months of my business in the prior 6 months and see what changed, because that's a major decision how I'm going to be managing my next 6 months. Okay. And right now in Acumatica, this is a pain point. It's usually complicated. I got to wait for the CFO that is super busy. It's just a pain, and he asked me, how much time do you think it's going to take for you to make this modification? And I said, well, what if we try to do it right now? And he said, what do you mean? No, let's see. So I just took the report, and just using what we consider the user experience. You don't need to be trained really, besides just showing the basics.
Okay.
In 1 minute, I changed the canned P&L by month into a 6-month buckets for the first 6 months of 2019 versus the last 6 months of 2019, and showing the variance. And they were like, what? Is that it? Yeah, that's it. And they were smiling, and that smile brings me joy. That's why I wake up every day.
So you wake up every day to get smiles out of your clients. I like that.
Yeah.
That's good motivation. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that sounds like technically you didn't even edit the report. It was more of an on-the-fly change you made there. Huh?
Yeah, that's no addition. That's a user interaction with the framework is very, very easy to change those things.
And I'd say you're very good at doing that. You're very good at understanding users in addition to being a data geek. And that combination of skills is actually pretty rare. So that's why I always enjoy talking with you.
Yeah.
Well, Joni, thanks for coming on the AUG blog audio post today. That's it for now. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you on the next AUG blog audio post. Take care.
Team, thanks for having me. Great pleasure.
Likewise.
Thank you.